Are you suffering from chronic fatigue? Your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight mode and you're looking for a natural way to recover and get your life back? If so, I know exactly how you feel because I felt the same way. I struggled with chronic fatigue for over 3 years, and this time last year, I was bedridden for over 3 months. I couldn't move, I couldn't work, I couldn't see friends or do any of the things I used to love, like surfing, traveling, or taking my lady out to dinner. Basically, life sucked and I felt like my body was broken. So again, if you're going through chronic fatigue, I know exactly how you feel. But luckily, everything changed for me when I learned about something called neuroplasticity and how I could use it to rewire my brain and nervous system to heal. And within months, I had my life back. I was walking 10,000 steps a day, working out a few times a week, working full time, taking my lady out on dates, surfing again, and I was on my way to total wellness. And now I've made it my mission to help others do the same, because if I can recover, so can you. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how I use neuroplasticity to rewire my brain to recover from chronic fatigue syndrome naturally, and how you can use it in order to rewire your mind, regain your health, and get your life back too. And we're going to do it on the computer, so that way you could both read and listen to it, since that's what I would have wanted when I was healing. So with that said, let's get started. All right, so here's how I used neuroplasticity to recover from chronic fatigue, aka CFS. So here's what we're going to cover. What is neuroplasticity, plus why it matters for healing, how your brain forms patterns, breaking free from harmful patterns, and then how I rewired my brain and nervous system for healing. So first, what is neuroplasticity? Well, neuroplasticity is this. It's the ability of our brain to adapt to anything we repeatedly do, meaning anything we repeatedly do, whether it's a thought, a process, or emotion, can become completely automatic for us in our brain. Now, in the past, scientists believed the brain was hardwired by adulthood, but we now know that this is false. The truth is the brain is capable of forming new connections at any age. Anything we repeatedly do, our brain will make it easier and faster for us to do again. In fact, the word plasticity from the word neuroplasticity means to change or reform. Think of your brain as a giant power grid with billions of pathways. And the more we use a pathway, the stronger it becomes. And the less we use it, the weaker it gets. This means the habits, thoughts, and emotions you repeat the most become your brain's default mode. And if you consistently reinforce stress, then those pathways become deeply ingrained. But you can choose to redirect your thoughts and rewire your brain for healing. Now let's cover how your brain forms patterns. Your brain has 86 billion neurons, each with up to 2,000 connections to other neurons. These connections, called synapses, are where info flows. So when you think, feel, or do something repeatedly, your brain strengthens the neural pathways associated with that action. Your habits, emotions, and automatic responses are like well-worn highways in your brain. What this means is that when you change a habit or learn something new, your brain starts carving out a fresh new pathway. You could think of it starting out as a temporary road, like a dirt road. But then the more you use this new pathway, the stronger it gets, eventually becoming automatic. This is why repetition and consistency are crucial to rewiring your brain. It turns those temporary dirt roads into well-paved highways. Now, let's talk about breaking free from harmful patterns. The brain doesn't distinguish between helpful and harmful patterns. It simply strengthens whatever is repeated. So if you constantly reinforce negative thoughts, fear, or stress, those pathways become dominant. So for years, I was unknowingly reinforcing patterns of fear, worry, and stress, and keeping myself in survival mode. I was constantly symptom checking. I was living in fear of a crash and thinking I was broken. These thought patterns became automatic, fueling my symptoms and blocking my recovery. But once I learned about neuroplasticity, I realized I could rewire new patterns with brain retraining, ones that supported healing instead of keeping me stuck. And I'll do a video later on brain retraining, but I wasn't chasing symptoms anymore. I was training my brain on how to heal. And you can do the same. By simply identifying the old patterns and replacing them with healthier ones, you unlock your brain's natural ability to support your wellness. Now, let's talk about how I rewired my brain and nervous system for healing. First, I identified harmful patterns. I noticed negative thoughts, beliefs, or behaviors that were keeping me stuck. And you learned how to do that in the last video on my YouTube channel. Second, I used brain retraining. Each time I noticed myself in a negative pattern, I shifted to a positive pattern. And I'll talk about brain retraining more in the next video, like how often I did it, the results I got, how long it took, etc., since it's literally the best way I found to rewire your brain on your own without needing any fancy or expensive devices. Number three, I stayed consistent. I rewired the new patterns I wanted every single day. It was like going to the gym for my brain. And over time, my new patterns I wanted became automatic. Soon, I was experiencing true healing. I now felt calm, I felt relaxed, energized, optimistic about my future, confident in feeling like myself again. So let's do a recap and talk your next steps. Now you know how I use neuroplasticity to recover from chronic fatigue. You know that neuroplasticity is the ability of your brain to adapt to anything you repeatedly do, meaning that you have the power to rewire your mind for healing. And you know that brain retraining is the best way to rewire the negative patterns you have into positive thoughts, patterns, and the health you want. Now imagine if you actually applied this and started rewiring your brain and nervous system every day. Just imagine waking up feeling energized again, feeling calm and confident in your recovery, and getting your life back, getting back to work, family, fun, and purpose. That's what neuroplasticity and brain retraining can lead to. If it worked for me, it can work for you too. And I'd attribute 80% of my healing to rewiring my mind. The other 20% was recovery, nutrition, movement, and lifestyle changes. All of it's important, but healing must start in the mind. So your action step is to rewatch this video until you fully understand neuroplasticity so that you can build rock solid belief that you can change your brain, meaning you can heal yourself and achieve total wellness. And I want to leave you with this thought. We are what we repeatedly do. So the more that you practice these new patterns, the more automatic they will become, and you'll finally be able to unlock the wellness you're searching for. This could be the start of your comeback story. Now, if you want more help on overcoming chronic fatigue naturally, regaining your health, and achieving total wellness, then I invite you to join my free newsletter or apply to work with me one-to-one in the links below. And if you like this video, subscribe. I make videos like this every single week, and stay tuned for my next video where I'm going to show you how brain retraining helped me recover from chronic fatigue, and more importantly, how to do it the right way since most people do it completely wrong. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.